Coming up on Sports Night.
Northwestern football faces number 18 Michigan at Wrigley Field.
Men's basketball faces its first real test of the season against DePaul on the road.
Volleyball approaches the end of conference play on a 3-game road slate.
Second to last show of the quarter. Taylor, what do we have for the fans tonight?
Well, we've got some football, some basketball, some playoff field hockey. What's not to love? So let's get into it. It's Sports Night right now.
Welcome to Sports Night. I'm Griffin Senyek alongside Taylor Hancock. Taylor, I was on desk for Spooky Sports Night earlier this quarter, and today we've got Savory Sports Night?
I'm not sure that quite fits, Griffin. I mean, Thanksgiving has a lot of S's. Squash, stuffing, sweet potatoes, but that's not the point.
You're right. It's the Thanksgiving Sports Night special, and we've got a stuffed show for you. So let's dive in. Coming off a tough loss at USC, Northwestern was still seeking that illustrious 6th win to clinch bowl eligibility. Their next opportunity to do so was at Wrigley Field against number 18 Michigan. A surprisingly beautiful November day in the Windy City as Northwestern football made its way into downtown Chicago to face off against 18th ranked Michigan in a battle at Wrigley Field. Early on here, the Wolverines drive into the red zone, stalls out. Zavada's kick, no good, wide right. A chip shot does not go, and it's tied up at 0 after the first quarter. It wouldn't be much longer before Michigan made up on their early blunder. Jordan Marshall bounces right and punches one in past the goal line to mark the first score of the game for either squad. Michigan up 7-3 nearing halftime, but a trick play goes wrong. Antosaka trucks the ball carrier and Braden Brust picks it up. The Cats would go on to kick a field goal and head into the half, down 7-6 out of halftime. Bryce Underwood fools everyone on a read option. He walks into the end zone. Wolverines would go up by 2 scores before the end of the third. NU would respond with a drive of their own, however, capped off by a Preston Stone sneak for the score. Underwood now trying to get the Wolverines back, but he throws a pick. Braden Turner comes across the middle and would go out of bounds at the 6-yard line. The very next play, Caleb Komalafe, he goes beast mode into the end zone, and just like that, Northwestern takes their first lead of the game, 22-21. But despite a defensive masterclass, Michigan would have a chance to win it. Dominic Zavada, a chance to send Wolverines fans home happy, and he does. Nails the field goal, making up for his earlier miss and giving the Wolverines the victory. Northwestern unable to come away with the upset win despite winning the turnover battle 5-0. The Cats moved to 0-6 all-time at the Friendly Confines. Despite the tough loss, the Cats had numerous bright spots against Michigan, including when long snapper Liam Reardon forced and recovered a fumble in the third quarter. Our very own Anna Watson has more on the Cats long snapper.
Rarely praised and usually criticized. That's the life of a long snapper. But on Saturday, grad transfer long snapper Liam Reardon got his fair share of the applause.
In the third quarter of Northwestern's loss to Michigan, Reardon snapped the ball to Luke Akers, sprinted down the middle of the field, and saw the returner take his lane. After he noticed his teammates in the area, he took a shot at the ball.
And lost it. Northwestern has the football.
I didn't even see it during the play because I had somebody come up and block me and get in my face, so I didn't know what happened until after. And then we're on the sideline, everybody's like, "Oh my gosh, Buddy got it."
Reardon, who is also affectionately known as Buddy, is no stranger to game-changing plays at the long snapper position. Before forcing a fumble Saturday, he recovered a muffed punt for a touchdown last season at Akron. He says making those plays is awesome, but he just wants to do his job.
Just perfect snap. If I have blocking responsibilities on the play, make the block, and then my coverage lane, and then after that, it's just do everything I can. I don't expect anything, but if I see an opportunity, I'll take it.
Reardon learned long snapping in the 6th grade from his father Bill, who played center and long snapper at Iowa. With a lot of his family in attendance at Wrigley Field, Bill was the only one who caught the big play.
My mom, my sisters, and my girlfriend sat together. My dad was locked in on the game, so he went up in a separate section to watch me get the best view of me, so he knew exactly what happened. None of my other family knew anything happened to after the game when my dad was going nuts when he saw me, so yeah, that was fun.
Reardon's teammates and coaches definitely took notice. For special teams coordinator Paul Creighton, the play is a reflection of how he does everything, like setting the tempo for the room in his first day on campus.
You would not guess for a second that he's a guy that's been here for 7 months. You'd think he'd been here his whole career, and you know, a lot of that is a testament to Coach Braun and how he runs a program, but a huge part of it is a testament to him and his commitment to not just himself, but not just showing up and being a hired mercenary for 6 months, but being a guy that wants to be a part of the team.
With 2 games remaining in the regular season, Reardon just wants to focus on perfect snaps and perfect blocks, but he's definitely put opposing teams on notice. You better watch out for the long snapper. Reporting on Northwestern football, I'm Anna Watson, NNN Sports.
Reardon and the Cats will be back in action on Saturday as they play their final home game of the season against Minnesota from Wrigley Field.
Field hockey traveled to Charlottesville, Virginia last weekend after missing out on a top 4 seed and hosting rights to the opening round of the NCAA tournament. On Friday, the Cats took on number 12 Yale and officially kicked off their national title defense. Ashley Sessa and Piper Boers both recorded braces, and Maddie Zimmer added a score en route to a commanding 5-1 victory. After hosts number 4 Virginia fell at home 2-1 to number 11 Miami of Ohio, Northwestern was set for a quarterfinal matchup with the Red Hawks. Laura Salamanca and Ella Kokonis tallied goals for the Cats, but Miami leveled the match both times through Kylie Coughlin and Milena Sabes. With less than 2 minutes remaining, Ilse Tromp found Grace Schultz for a clutch goal to secure a 3-2 win and send the Cats to the Final Four. Northwestern will face number 1 North Carolina in Durham on Friday with a ticket to the NCAA Final on the line. Here's what the team had to say before the Cats left for the Final Four.
Yeah, I think what makes our team so successful is we just go out there and play every game to our strengths, and we also do it for each other. It's not one person doing it for themselves. We want each other to succeed, and I've said that before, but just making each other look good, it really, I think, warms everyone's heart.
Something that we all do well is just knowing our role and doing our role. Everybody's really good at, just knowing exactly what they need to do. You don't need to overcompensate and try to do something that's not your strength. And I think that if we just do that on Friday, we're going to play a great game.
Our off-the-field chemistry has been a large part of why we're so successful on the field, because we're able to connect off the field and kind of do everything together off the field. It just helps translate naturally onto the field.
We've been in some tough battles where we've been up a few goals, we've been down a goal, we've had to go to overtime, and I think that's a good thing. And then the other thing is they're just relentless. So no matter winning, losing, they're always just playing the game as if it's tied and going to go after it. And that's a sign of a really good team. And honestly, our culture is in a great, great place. You don't always have to love your role, but you have to be a good teammate. And we have 23 of the best teammates I've ever coached in my coaching career, which is quite a long time.
When we come back, we'll check in on men's basketball, who is looking to win their 4th straight matchup against DePaul. Don't go anywhere.
Trying to work my way out of the prison system was the most difficult challenge of my life. It only became tangible once I became a Northwestern student.
One, two, three, four.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. I'm happy to be here. Griffin, with Thanksgiving coming up, what are you thankful for?
I mean, got to be thankful for the friends and family, of course. Got to shout out the Mets, even though they broke my heart this year a little bit. And also shout out to Jackson Smith and Jigba. He's been balling for my fantasy squad. What about you?
Well, Griffin, I'm thankful to be back in Welsh Ryan Arena with 2 winning teams. Last Friday, Northwestern men's basketball took a trip to Wintrust Arena for its first road game of the regular season against DePaul. The 3-0 Cats quickly fell into a back-and-forth battle, falling behind 44-42 at halftime, despite 13 points on 6 of 6 shooting from Arrington Page and 12 points on 4 of 5 shooting from Nick Martinelli. The Cats shot 67% from the field, but got dominated on the glass, allowing the Blue Demons to grab 10 offensive rebounds. In the second half, the slugfest continued as neither team was able to accumulate a lead of more than 6 points. The contest came down to the final seconds with the score tied at 79. And after a missed shot from Jaden Reed, Martinelli snatched an offensive rebound and drew a foul. He sank both free throws, and after a 3-point attempt from DePaul's Layden blocker clanged off the rim, the Wildcats officially survived. Martinelli and Page finished with 24 and 22 points respectively. Next up, Northwestern takes on Virginia in the Greenbrier tip-off. That game will take place in West Virginia this Friday at 4 p.m. Central Time.
Women's basketball is off to a strong start in head coach Joe McEwen's final season. The Cats had a pair of matchups this week, and if victorious in both, would start 4-0 for the first time since 2020. First up on the docket was UMES. Northwestern women's basketball was back at Welsh Ryan Arena on Friday, looking to keep that undefeated streak rolling against the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. Into the first quarter, Tate Lash driving towards the basket, finds Casey Harder open in the quarter. Harder pulls, Harder scores. Cats up early in the first. Tate Lash again with the ball, finds Grace Sullivan, who's made the mid-range her home this season. Nothing but net for the 6'4 senior as Northwestern stays out in front. Later that quarter, Caroline Lau looking to push the pace. Passes tipped by a UMES defender, but right into the hands of Harder, who lays it in. Northwestern heads into the locker room up 8. Into the third, Harder blocks this layup attempt by Deshauna Carter, but Hawks guard Ashanti Lynch grabs the board and lays it in. Lynch would have 17 points on the evening. Less than a minute later, Lau getting it to Harder. On the perimeter, she hesitates, finds Sullivan wide open, mid-range again. It's good. Cats lead back up to 9. Taylor Thomas racked up a career-high 16 points during the game, but she finds Caroline Lau. Lau dishes to Harder. Harder open. Three-pointer is good. Northwestern heads into the fourth with a 12-point advantage. Only a few minutes left. Caroline Lau driving into the paint. Finds Harder on the wing. Her three. It's good. Casey Harder, career-high 5th three-pointer. She led the squad with also a career-high 19 points, and that would do it. The Cats bench runs out the clock. The Northwestern snags a 69-54 win to start Joe McEwen home with a perfect 3-0 record. On Tuesday, women's basketball woke up bright and early for a bus trip downtown to face DePaul. The Cats got off to an early start, scoring 29 in the first quarter to take a 14-point lead over the Blue Demons. They were able to maintain that lead for the rest of the half thanks to incredible shooting performances from Caroline Lau and Grace Sullivan. It wasn't until the fourth quarter that DePaul staged a comeback, trimming what was a 19-point Northwestern lead down to 3 towards the end of the game. However, the Cats were able to recover, finishing off the Blue Demons with a 79-72 final. Women's basketball will be back in action on Friday night, taking on Cleveland State at Welsh Ryan Arena.
Northwestern women's soccer traveled down to Tuscaloosa to take on number 8 Alabama in the first round of the NCAA tournament. The Wildcats started out great with Kennedy Roche notching the first goal of the game. Northwestern carried a 1-0 lead into the second half before Larkin Thomason got Alabama on the board with the equalizer. Only 6 minutes later, Northwestern had the answer, taking a 2-1 lead on a goal by Megan Norquette. In a back-and-forth affair, Madeline Podolsky came in clutch for the Crimson Tide, tying the game at 2 apiece in the 85th minute. But the action stopped there as both teams went scoreless through the 2 overtimes. Unfortunately for the Wildcats, there was no Cinderella story, as Alabama was the team that emerged victorious, winning the penalty kick shootout 3-1. When we come back, we'll see if volleyball can bounce back from a tough week out west.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Ready, set, go!
We are back. Second half of the show about to kick off. Taylor, take it away.
Following a Los Angeles road trip, Northwestern volleyball heads to Iowa and Washington before they close out the season this month. Northwestern volleyball makes the trip to Iowa to take on the Hawkeyes in the Xtreme Arena. And this one was exciting from the jump, as this ball is set for Sade Van Zant, who is blocked by Campbell Paris. An explosive starts the contest in Iowa, with both teams entering this one trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Iowa would take control in the first set and bring up set point. This one is dug out, set up, and slammed down by Hannah Whittingstall, one of her 15 kills of the match. Cats are down after 1. The second set would be a bounce-back one for NU as it looks to close it out here. The first attack is eventually returned by the Hawkeyes. Gigi Navarrete puts it on a plate for Campbell. Say au revoir to that ball, and she hits a well-earned celly after 1-1 after 2. All knotted up late in the third set as both teams look to take a lead here. Navarrette's serve is dug out, ball is set up, but Iowa's attack is rejected by Aya El-Nadi, and Bella Simkis, an emphatic rejection, brings up set point. Momentum firmly in Northwestern's favor now as Navarrete serves again. Iowa pops it up, tries to return, only to be met at the net yet again. It's a block party in Iowa. Iowa trying to stay alive in the fourth set. Ball tipped over the net by El-Nadi. Iowa only needs 2 hits to fire it down the center, and this one is going to go the distance. Northwestern on the back foot now. Iowa controls the serve. It goes to the right side, and the ball hits the hardwood in the middle of NU's defense. Iowa battles from 2-1 down to take the win in a 5-set thriller. The Cats' losing streak extends to 3.
Northwestern would return home to take on the Washington Huskies. Both teams came into this one looking to snap losing streaks, and Northwestern got off to a bad start right away. Shot is and the kill from Katie Wessels, and the Huskies kept rolling from there through set 1. They would go on to take it in dominant fashion, 25-12. Kirsten Barden seals the deal with a kill, and what a start for Washington. Set 2, but the Cats would battle right back. Rylan Reed getting set point for the Cats. A big kill for her and a big set for her. 1-1 as we go into set 3. Back and forth here. Washington with set point, and it's an ace. Alexis Howery with the decisive point, and that will send Washington to the fourth set with a chance to win it. But Northwestern holds strong. El Nadi bump. Nordermeer the set. Bella Simkis. It's a Simkis spike. Some space open in the back that she takes advantage of. Cats not going away easy. They bring it all the way to set point. Long rally here. Washington getting it across. Ryland Reed the dig. Carter the set in the middle. El Nadi floats it. Washington can't recover, and Northwestern evens it up. And just like in Iowa, we're headed to a fifth set. Both teams coming together. Winner take all. It would be Washington that gets out ahead all the way to match point. They almost lose it. Kirsten Barden with a great dig. And ultimately, Simona Mateska with the kill. The Northwestern block goes out of bounds. Huskies win and improve to 6-10 in Big Ten play, while Northwestern falls to 5-11 in the conference. After a brief one-game homestand, the Cats are back on the road. They will return to action tomorrow night at Ohio State, looking to snap their 4-match losing streak.
Northwestern women's cross country traveled to Stillwater, Oklahoma to compete in the NCAA Midwest Regional, aiming to punch their ticket to the national championship meet amidst one of the greatest seasons in NU program history. The Wildcats ran strong, posting a team score of 86 to earn a runner-up finish. Northwestern's balanced attack was on full display, with its top 5 runners all finishing within 8 seconds of each other and inside the top 20. Ava Earle was the first Wildcat across the line, clocking a time of 24.6.4 to finish 15th overall. Sky Ellis and Jackie Hallman were right on her heels, finishing 16th and 17th respectively. Maddie Whitman carried her all Big Ten momentum to an 18th place finish, and Holly Smith rounded out the scoring, taking 20th. The second place finish for the Wildcats secured the program's 4th trip to the NCAA championships, solidifying another historic chapter for the Cats under Coach Jill Miller. The University of Missouri will be hosting the championship, and the main event begins on November 22nd.
Earlier this week, Northwestern's women's fencing team made a trip to the Lone Star State to compete in the seasonal North American Cup. The Wildcats currently boast a 6-2 record for the regular season and placed accordingly at the NAC, parallel to the success they've experienced so far this season. Across the 3 forms of competition, Northwestern had 6 athletes placing within the top 100 within their respective discipline. Amongst them was standout sophomore Nisha Hild, who excelled with a flawless record in pool play and picked up 4 wins in direct elimination. Hild, the saber specialist, earned herself a spot on the podium with a 6th place finish. Other notable Wildcats include first-year Sofia Shimonovich, senior Megumi Oshii, and second-year Natalie Shearer, finishing 32nd, 53rd, and 71st respectively in saber. Alongside them were high performers senior Karen Wang and Natasha Lee, a new face to the women's fencing roster, who've placed 32nd and 65th respectively in the épée category. The Cats next set their sights on the Western Invitational in Colorado Springs this upcoming weekend, where formidable foes like number 2 Columbia and number 9 Stanford await for their arrival.
Wrestling dropped its first dual meet of the season on Saturday, losing 20-13 to in-state foe SIUE. Despite the team loss, the Cats earned victories in 4 weight classes. Dedrick Navarro earned a victory in the 125-pound weight class, coming away with a 2-1 decision win after a late escape in the 3rd period. Senior transfer Sean Spittle won at 133 pounds via a 2-0 decision after an escape and riding time point in the 3rd period. Gunnar Myers gave the Cats their 3rd win of the match at 157 pounds with a 5-2 decision win, and graduate transfer J.D. Perez rounded out the NU victories with a dominant 19-8 major decision win at 184 pounds. Following the loss, the Cats prepare for their next dual meet this Sunday as they head up to New Jersey to face Princeton. And now it's time to see how you can catch the Cats.
Great graphic, Taylor, may I add. Field hockey squares off against UNC with a trip to the national championship on the line.
Football returns to Wrigley Field on Saturday, taking on the Golden Gophers.
And volleyball finishes its road trip on Sunday against number 11 Purdue. It's been a week full of impressive moments, but we can only choose 3 for Plays of the Week. We'll take a look at the Cats' best when we come back from the break.
I'm Kelly McEvers, founding host of the NPR podcast Embedded.
I'm James Edwards, host of the Unresolved podcast from Frontline.
I'm Antonia Cereijido, former senior producer of Anything for Selena podcast and current executive producer at Elias Studios.
My narrative since I've been locked up and kind of made my transition has been like redemption, accountability.
When I come into the classroom environment, every individual that sits amongst me takes education seriously.
My relationship with Giannis is unique. We're from the same country, we're from the same city. Being a Northwestern alum, I think, has tremendous advantages in the sports industry. To me, that community, it's been with me for 20 plus years.
Welcome back to Sports Night. Griffin, I've got a flight to catch, so let's wrap this show up quick.
Well, lucky for you, D-Block is short, but we can't rush through the best part of the show. It's time for Plays of the Week.
At number three, Bryce Underwood tosses a misguided pass straight to Braden Turner, who returns the interception just short of the goal line. This play would shift the momentum for the Cats in a huge way going into the fourth quarter.
Setting them up well for play number 2 as Caleb Komalafe weaves his way into the end zone, giving Northwestern the lead with 12 minutes and 5 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, the Cats would fall due to a game-winning field goal.
But it'll be no L's for play number 1, however, as the Cats whip the ball around the top of the key, eventually finding Caroline Lau, who drives it in, only to kick it out to Casey Harder for the big three-pointer. This would mark Harder's career high of 19 points and 5 threes in the game, and the team is clearly loving it.
That will do it for this week's edition of Sports Night.
Be sure to follow us on X at NNN Sports and on Instagram at NNN_sports.
For Taylor Hancock, I'm Griffin Senyek. Happy Thanksgiving, Cats fans.